FFXIV. When you first start Final Fantasy XIV, things can seem very overwhelming. There's a lot of information on the screen and you don't know what is important. So let's talk about settings you can change to your liking in order to improve your gaming experience in Final Fantasy XIV. There are many settings you can change in character configuration. Some are simple quality of life improvements, and some can be game changers. Firstly, under the General tab in Control Settings, we have the option to skip previously viewed cutscenes. The first option will let you automatically skip cutscenes, such as those at the beginning and the end of a dungeon, or those that are story related, with the exception of Castrum Meridianum and the Praetorium, of course. This can save a lot of time, especially if you're spamming dungeons and have seen the cutscenes more times than you can count. The second option lets you skip transportation scenes, like when you use an airship to travel. The third option lets you skip housing cutscenes. Next, under the Character tab, we have Battle Effects Settings. This lets you adjust how much of the battle effects you see from yourself, party members, and other player characters. If you have Show All for every option, you will see the full battle effects of yourself, your party members, and other player characters. As you can see from the footage, this can result in visual overload and can impede your visibility, especially in Alliance raids where you will see the full visual effects of 24 players simultaneously. You can adjust the options to Show Limited or Show None, which limit the amount of battle effects you see, while retaining the telegraphs of important party buffs like the healer's AoE heals. You can see that even if you choose Show None, you can still see the telegraphs of the Astrologian's earthly star on the ground. Now we'll take a look at item settings. You can change the interface when you bring up your inventory to expand it or open all, depending on your preference. You can also change the priority of your subcommands in subcommand customization. When you open the subcommands on a piece of gear, you get the default list that you can change in the settings. You can take commands on or off so that they appear or disappear from your subcommand list. You can also move them up or down the list and create a second tier subcommand where you can put commands into a separate sub-list. This way, you can control what appears in your subcommands and in what order they appear in. Then we have UI settings. Scrolling down to the bottom of the General tab, you can tick on or off the recommendations list, play guide, or achievements notifications upon logging in so that they are less intrusive and you won't have to close them every time you log in. Under the HUD tab, scroll down and you will see options for clock type. This may not seem important at first, but if you are a gatherer or if you do the hunt, you will want to tick on Eorzean time, which is the in-game world time. Eorzean time, or ET, is important as they are gathering nodes that only appear during certain parts of Eorzean time, and the hunt start time announcements are also done in ET. As an alternative, you can also click on the clock on the top right hand corner to toggle different clock types. At the bottommost part of the HUD section is an often overlooked setting. You can tick the option on in order to see the enemy's remaining HP in percentages, which can be very useful in a variety of situations. After that, we have the Party List tab. At the bottom is Party List Sorting, where you can change the order of roles that show up in your party list. In Role Sort settings, you can change the priority of jobs, further customizing your party list. Next are display name settings, where you can adjust your display name, pets, and companions, as well as those of other player characters and NPCs. There are presets that you can choose, like Show All, Show Default, Minimize, and Hide. Or you can choose to customize your own settings. Under the Own tab, you can choose how you want your name and HP bar to be displayed above the head of your character. You can also change the color of display names by clicking on the name and choosing your preferred color. Companions refer to chocobo companions in the field. Pets refer to jobs pets such as the Arcanist's carbuncles, Scholar's fairies, and Summoner's eggy. Under the Others tab, you can change the settings for other player characters' display names as well as their companions and pets. Under the NPCs tab, you can change the settings for NPCs and other interactable objects. An important setting that you may want to change under this tab is the name of minions. When you first get to a major player hub with the default settings, there could be an overload of information on the screen. By adjusting these settings, you can reduce the amount of information displayed to the level and colors that you are comfortable with. Then come Lock Windows settings. By default, the game gives you 3 lock tabs, but there could be a lot of information in the General tab that makes it hard to keep track of chat and other events. You can add a 4th tab and set it to include whatever locks you want. You can also change what you see in any of the tabs by clicking on the tab under Lock Filters. You can toggle what you want to appear in each tab to control the amount of information you see. And that is it for character configuration. Next, we will look at system configuration. In display settings, scroll to the default UI size option, where you can change the size of all your UI elements in one go instead of one by one in the HUD layout. How big you want your UI elements depends on your screen resolution and personal preference, so adjust it until you get the size that you want. You can further adjust the size of individual elements in the HUD layout as well. There are also accessibility settings in system configuration for those with visual and auditory impairments. You can enable visual alerts and change the color filtering settings to suit your needs, such as adjusting colors to suit different types of color blindness. Last is the HUD layout. The Final Fantasy XIV's UI is extremely customizable, to the point where you don't usually see players with the same looking UI unless it's the default one. There are no set rules on how you should adjust your UI, but the general rule of thumb is to keep the center of your screen uncluttered so you will have good visibility in battle. And make sure you can see your buffs and debuffs. As I've said before, you can change the UI of each element. If you hold down Shift, the UI will snap to grid, making lining them up easier. And there you have it. Getting these settings just right will take a lot of time, but it is a worthwhile time investment that will save you a lot of trouble down the road. Of course, this is only a portion of the settings that are available in the game. You can and should explore further and make the game feel good for you down to any minute detail you want. A quick reminder that if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also support the channel via Patreon and Ko-fi, or just by sharing this video with your friends and follow me on Twitch. And that's it for me for now. Bye!